हेलो एवरीवन, आई वेलकम यू ऑल वंस अगेन टू दिस चैनल प्रभावी कंपटीशन। अब मैं सबका स्वागत करता हूँ। एंड इन दिस वीडियो वी विल बी कवरिंग द करंट अफेयर्स MCQs, टोटल 800 प्लस MCQ ऑफ स्पीडी सीरीज। स्पीडी की ये बुक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है एज़ फार एज द एग्जामिनेशन इज़ कंसर्न। स्पेशली अगर आप जैसे बिहार के एग्ज़ाम में जाते हो, 67 BPSC में जा रहे हो, या फिर किसी भी एग्ज़ाम में जा रहे हो जहाँ पे करंट अफेयर आता है, तो बहुत ही अच्छी किताब है। ये बहुत अच्छी किताब है और उसका मैं लेके आया हूँ लेटेस्ट वर्जन, दैट इज़ अक्टूबर 2021 से लेकर 2022 वाला, सितंबर 1 सितंबर 2022, मतलब लेटेस्ट है। इससे नया मार्केट में बुक नहीं है स्पीडी का। एंड आज ही मैंने इसको लिया है एंड आई एम कवरिंग इट टुडे इटसेल्फ। तो आज हम लोग 800 प्लस जो MCQ है उसको कवर कर लेंगे। एंड कल आई विल ट्राई कि मतलब बाकी चीज़ों की को भी मैं वन लाइनर वगैरह को भी कवर करा दूँ। सो दिस इज़ मस्ट वॉच सीरीज़ फॉर दोज हु आर गोइंग फॉर एग्जामिनेशन, रिसेंट कोई एग्ज़ाम में जा रहे हैं, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। एंड चैनल पे नए हैं तो ज़रूर सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, बेल आइकन को भी प्रेस कीजिए ताकि आपको मेरे लेटेस्ट वीडियोज़ का जो है नोटिफिकेशन आपको मिलता रहे। तो चलिए गाइज, इसको स्टार्ट करते हैं। क्वेश्चंस को जल्दी कवर करेंगे बिकॉज आपको इसको ना मैं थोड़ा सा टिप्स देना चाहूँगा कि आप एक बार देखो और दूसरी बार थोड़ा स्पीड अप करके, पहली बार में तो नॉर्मल स्पीड में देखना बिकॉज इतना तो टाइम लगता है और लगना भी चाहिए। दिमाग को इतना एक्सेप्ट करना चाहिए कि हाँ, इतना टाइम लगेगा रिवीजन में या फिर देखने में पहली बार में, और रिवीजन में थोड़ा फास्ट कर सकते हो, ठीक है। तो 1.5 गुना एक स्पीड कर लो, 2 गुना भी कर सकते हो। मैं अपने कंफर्ट के हिसाब से आप देखना, लेकिन एक दो बार देख के ही जाना, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। बिकॉज देखिए, ये आप अंतिम समय में जा रहे हैं एग्ज़ाम देने और यही क्वेश्चन से सवाल उठेंगे बिकॉज ये 800 ऐसे क्वेश्चन है जो मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट हैं एक साल के। अब आप सोचिए, एक साल में कितने दिन होते हैं? 365 डेज़ होते हैं। एक साल में 365 डेज़ हैं, तो एक दिन में ये दो के आसपास करंट अफेयर है बिकॉज 800 प्लस है। ऐसा भी नहीं कह सकते कि 1000 प्लस है, तो 2 प्लस मतलब 2.5 क्वेश्चन एक दिन का मान के चलो। तो इतने दिन के लिए 365 डेज़ के लिए अगर आपको 800 ही क्वेश्चन मिल रहे हैं तो ऐसा तो हो नहीं सकता कि बोगस क्वेश्चन होंगे। बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है ये, ठीक है। बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन निकाला गया है, तो ज़रूर इसको कंप्लीट देखना, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। ये सब जानकारी आपको कोई देगा नहीं, सीधा आके पढ़ने लगेगा, तो थोड़ा सा आपको ये ध्यान में रखना है। चलिए अब स्टार्ट करते हैं वीडियो को, ठीक है। पहला क्वेश्चन देखते हैं, व्हेन इज वुमेन्स इक्वालिटी डे? व्हेन इज वुमेन्स इक्वालिटी डे सेलिब्रेटेड एवरी ईयर? सो आंसर विल बी 26 अगस्त। 26 अगस्त। हु हैज़ बीन अवार्डेड द यूनेस्को पीस प्राइज 2022? आंसर इज एंजेला मर्केल। Recently, how many teachers have been selected for a National Teacher Award 2022? Total 46. Total 46. On the death anniversary uh, of which leader the book New India was released? So it was released on the death anniversary of Arun Jaitley sahab. With which neighboring country India has signed a consultancy agreement for 2 railway projects? Answer is Bangladesh. Which senior leader has recently resigned from all posts of the National Congress Party? Answer is Ghulam Nabi Azad. Where was 8th India-Brazil Joint Commission meeting held recently? Answer is Brasilia. Who has bagged the contract as the official national team sponsor of Sri Lanka cricket team for Asia Cup 2022? It's Fair Play News. Who has been appointed as the interim coach of Indian cricket team for Asia Cup 2022? VVS Lakshman. Who has been awarded Liberty Medal 2022? Liberty Medal has been given to Volodymyr Zelensky, President of Ukraine. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has inaugurated Homi Bhabha Cancer Hospital and Research Center in which state? Answer is Punjab. Under which category Bangladesh origin of Fahmida Azim has won the Pulitzer Prize 2022. It's illustrated reporting and commentary. James Webb Space Telescope has recently captured new pictures of which planet? Jupiter. Which country has become fastest aging country in the European Union? Portugal. In which state India's first observatory will be set up to monitor space activity? Uttarakhand. Which folk dance has been nominated by Government of India to be included in UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage List? Answer is Garba. In which country the annual meeting of Defense Minister of SCO will be held? Uzbekistan. India's first hydrogen fuel cell bus has been unveiled in which city? Pune. Chandigarh International Airport will be renamed after whom? Shahid Bhagat Singh. India's first indigenously developed RT-PCR kit to test for monkeypox disease has been developed by which company? The company name is Trans Asia Biomedicals. What is the name of India's first indigenously built aircraft carrier? INS Vikrant. How many medals has Indian wrestling team won in Under 20 World Cup Championship? 16. In which country was biennial warfare exercise Pitch Black held? Australia. Saib Sipte Raji, who died on 20th August, he served as governor of which state? Jharkhand. Who has become the first Indian female wrestler to win gold in Under 20 World Wrestling Championship? Antim Panghal. Dahi Handi is recognized as official sport in which state? Maharashtra. Which state has become the first Har Ghar Jal certified state in India? Goa. In which South American country External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has unveiled the statue of Mahatma Gandhi? Paraguay. In which city India's first double-decker AC electric bus has been unveiled? Mumbai. Which leader has not been nominated as a member of BJP Parliamentary Committee? Nitin Gadkari. In which city India's first 3D printed cornea has been developed? Hyderabad. In which state will the Border Road Organization build a steel slag road? Arunachal Pradesh. Which city has signed 750 billion climate change and health care bill? United States of America. In which city State Bank of India has launched its first branch for startups? Bangalore. Manthan Manch has been started by Government of India for what purpose? The purpose is cooperation in research and development, R&D. Sadbhavna Divas is celebrated on 20th August as birth anniversary of which former Prime Minister of India? So his name is Rajiv Gandhi. Which international airport in India has launched the DG Yatra program from August 18, 2022? Hyderabad International Airport. India has gifted Dornier Maritime Reconnaissance aircraft to which neighboring country? Sri Lanka. Who has launched India's first friendship startup for senior citizens? Ratan Tata. Which union ministry has launched the Smile 75 initiative? Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. School cleanliness education program is initiative launched in which state? Uttarakhand. Which country has become the first country in the world to approve Omicron vaccine? United States. which organization on occasion of Independence Day 2022 from the Earth Indian national flag is hosted 30 km above Space Kids India. The Agastya Malai region of which state has been designated by the central government as fifth elephant reserve of the state? Answer is Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu. Who has been given the highest civilian honor of France? Chevalier de la Légion d'Honneur recently. Answer is Shashi Tharoor. Bilateral exercise Udar Shakti is being organized between India and which country? Answer is Malaysia. When is International Youth Day celebrated? It is celebrated on 12th August. Which two countries have withdrawn from cooperation group formed between China and Central and Eastern European countries? Answer is Latvia and Estonia. Which of the following has been approved as booster dose in India for people above 18 years of age? Corbevax. Answer is Corbevax. Recently, who has been honored with the highest civilian honor of the Union Territory of Ladakh? Dalai Lama. World Elephant Day is celebrated every year on which day? The date is 12th August. When is World Lion Day celebrated? Celebrated on 10th August. Recently, in which state Prime Minister Narendra Modi has dedicated 2G ethanol plant to the nation? Haryana. Answer is Haryana. When is World Biofuel Day celebrated? It is celebrated on 10th August. India's first underwater metro will be inaugurated in which city? Kolkata. When will 12th edition of Defence Expo will be held in Gujarat? October 2022. New Delhi International Arbitration Centre has been renamed as India International Arbitration Centre. How many medals has India won in Commonwealth Games 2022 held in Birmingham? Total 61. Where did Prime Minister Narendra Modi recently inaugurate Asia's largest private hospital, Amrit Hospital? Faridabad, Haryana. Parwaz Market Linkage Scheme has been launched by which Union Territory of India? Jammu Kashmir. Dr. N. Kalai Selvi has become the first woman Director General of which Indian research organization? Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR. Which Indian state has appointed Deloitte India as its advisor? Uttar Pradesh. How many gold medals has Indian contingent won in the Commonwealth Games 2022? 22 total. Who has been elected as 14th President of India? 14th President of India, Vice President, sorry. Answer is Jagdeep Dhankar. Where was fourth edition of India Clean Air Summit 2022 held? It was held at Bangalore, Karnataka. Between which two cities India Akash Air first flight has been inaugurated? Mumbai to Ahmedabad. Under Amrit Festival of Independence, Badhe Chalo campaign has been started by which union ministry? It is started by Ministry of Culture. The military exercise Yudh Abhyas has been organized with India and which country? USA. India and USA. Which astronomical observatory in India has been notified in list of UNESCO? So it is Bihar Astronomical Observatory. Answer is D. Which Indian female boxer has won gold medal in women's 50 kg boxing category at the Commonwealth Games 2022? Answer is Nikhat Jareen. Nikhat Jareen, very famous. In which city of India, India's first regional national center for disease control has been announced recently? Answer is Bhopal. Who has become new executive director of IMF in India? So his name is K. Subramaniam. Who has been appointed as new chairman of DRDO? Samir V. Kamath. Very important. Samir V. Kamath, new chairman. Recently, Uttar Pradesh government has announced to build India's first night safari on lines of Singapore in which city? Lucknow. Recently, which state has become the first state in India to create education township? Uttar Pradesh. Recently, who has become the new director of National Institute of Immunology? Devasis Mohanty. Recently, which country has again broken its own record of lowest fertility rate in world? South Korea. Recently, which district of India has become functionally literate? Mandla, Madhya Pradesh. Recently, Syed Sibte Raji, who was the former governor of which two state, has passed away at the age of 83? Answer is Jharkhand and Assam. Recently, who has become the first Indian footballer player to play UEFA Champion League? Manisha Kalyan. Which country has become the first country in the world to implement a law of free period product? Scotland. On which date World Photography Day is celebrated every year? 19th August. When is World Humanitarian Day celebrated every year? On 15th August. Recently, which country player Kevin O'Brien has retired from international cricket? Ireland. On which date World Organ Donation Day is celebrated every year? Celebrated on 13th August. Who has been adjudged by AIFF for Men's Footballer of Year 2021-2022 season? Sumit Chetri. Which country has recently started the first service of hydrogen powered train? Germany. ISRO successfully put 3 satellites of which country into space orbit with PSLV C-53? Singapore. Recently, who has been appointed as 49th Chief Justice of India? UU Lalit. Justice UU Lalit. Which male cricketer has recently received ICC Player of the Month award for July 2022? Prabhat Jayasuriya. Prabhat Jayasuriya. Which beauty has recently won title of Miss India USA 2022? Arya Balvekar. Which anniversary of Quit India movement was celebrated all over India on 8th August 2022? 80th. Which chess player has recently become 75th Grandmaster of India? V. Pranav. Who has become the first woman Director General of CSIR? Nalathambi Kalaiselvi. When is National Handloom Day celebrated every year across India? 7th August. Recently, the government of which state has decided to develop a Sanskrit gram in each district of each of its district? So answer is Uttarakhand. Recently, the Ministry of Energy has announced to build the world's largest floating solar power plant in which state? Madhya Pradesh. Recently, who has been appointed as new director of Prime Minister office for next 3 years? Sweta Singh. Recently, it has been announced to create 7 new districts in West Bengal. Now, what will be number of districts in the state? Total 30, which has become the first state in India to start a semiconductor policy? Gujarat. Recently, Wasifa Nazreen has become first woman of which country to conquer K2? Bangladesh. Who has become the highest paid FMCG CEO recently? Saugat Gupta. Saugat Gupta. For how many months Bangladesh fast bowler Sakibul Islam Suhidul Islam has been banned by ICC for committing doping violation? 10 months. Who is considered the father of internet revolution in India, who passed away recently? Bijendra Kumar Single. Recently, Neeraj Chopra participated in javelin throw event in World Athletics. Which medal did he win? Silver medal मिला है उनको, silver. Recently, India and which country have started maritime partnership exercise? जापान. GMEX करते हैं वो लोग. Who has been appointed as chief economic of World Bank recently? Indermeet Gill. Who has been given most favorable state award for films in 68th National Film Award recently? Madhya Pradesh. Who has recently won the 2022 Tour de France title? Jonas Vingard. Drone startup Garuda Aerospace has tied up with Hilse Global to set up its first aerospace plant in which country? Malaysia. Which state has recently established district climate change mission? Tamil Nadu. Kargil Vijay Divas is celebrated on which date? 26 July. Recently, who has become the first district of India to get Har Ghar Jal scheme certified? Kota, Rajasthan. Next question. Recently, who has been appointed as new CEO of telecom company Vodafone Idea? Ravinder Thakkar. Who has been appointed as new Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, replacing Ranil Wickremesinghe? Dinesh Gunawardene. Recently, who has become the first state to connect commercial vehicle with emergency response support system? Himachal Pradesh. When is National Flag Day celebrated every year all over India? 22nd July. Who has received Best Actress Award under 68th National Film Award 2022? Aparna Balamurali. Who has become 15th and first tribal woman President of India? Draupadi Murmu. Draupadi Murmu. What is rank of Indian passport in recently released Henley Passport Index for year 2022? 87th. In which state India's first digital Lok Adalat has been launched recently? Rajasthan. Recently, Sea Guardians 2 maritime exercise was organized by China and which country? Pakistan. Which IT company will acquire Denmark-based Base Life Science for 110 million euros? Answer is Infosys. Who has become new MD and CEO of National Stock Exchange? Ashish Kumar Chauhan. Which security force has recently recovered narcotic products worth rupees 7.40 crore under Operation Narcos? Railway Protection Force. Answer is Railway Protection Force. Which state tops the ranking of a state to implement the National Food Security Act through ration shops? Odisha. 30 NATO allies signed the accession protocol for Sweden and which country? The answer is Finland. 127 क्वेश्चन देखिए. 30 NATO allies signed accession protocol for Sweden and which country? So answer is Finland. Junior Ferdinand Marcos was sworn in as 17th president of which country? Philippines. Which Indian badminton player has won the women's singles title at Singapore Open 2022? PV Sindhu. When is World International Day of Justice celebrated every year? 17th July. Recently, who has been appointed as High Commissioner of Bangladesh to India? Mustafizur Rahman. According to the Time Out 2022 index, which country capital Edinburgh is best city in the world? Scotland. Answer is Scotland. Which country celebrates 14th July every year as National Day, which is also known as Bastille Day? France. Recently, which institute has made a tool named Pivot to detect genes responsible for cancer? IIT Madras. What is the rank of India in recently released Global Gender Gap Report for the year 2022? 135th. Which has become first state to implement the centre's new education policy in primary education? Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand is the right answer. According to World Health Organization, in which country 2 suspects cases of Marburg virus disease were reported? Ghana. Which country recently conducted a highly sensitive experiment named Lux Zeppelin to detect dark matters in universe? America. In which city did Union Mines Minister Prahlad Joshi inaugurate 6th National Conference on Mines and Minerals? Delhi. The Reserve Bank of India has approved Meena Hemchandra as part-time chairman of which bank? Karur Vyasa Bank. Which male player has received the ICC Player of the Month award for June 2022? Johnny Bairstow. Which Indian has won the title of Miss Universe Divine 2022? Susmita Rao. Which tennis player has recently won the men's single title at Wimbledon 2022? Daniel Medvedev. On which date World Population Day is celebrated every year? 11th July. Which Lieutenant General of India has been appointed as new military commander of the UN mission in South Sudan? Mohan Subramaniam. Who has recently won the title of Femina Miss India 2022? Sini Shetty. Recently, Yair Lapid has become 14th Prime Minister of which country? Israel. Which fugitive businessman has recently been sentenced to 4-month jail by Supreme Court in 2017 contempt case related to hiding information from the court? 148th answer is B. Vijay Mallya. Nepal has recently started exporting cement to which country for the first time? India. Recently, which person of Indian origin has been appointed as the new chairman of Financial Action Task Force? T. Rajakumar. Which medal has been won by Arjun Babuta of India in International Shooting Sports Federation World Cup stage? Gold medal. Who has been appointed as the new head of GAIL recently? Sandeep Gupta. Recently, Ketanji Brown Jackson has become first black woman judge of Supreme Court of which country? America. When is National Statistics Day celebrated every year? 29th June. Who has been given additional charge of Ministry of Minority Affairs? Smriti Irani. Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia was given additional charge of which ministry? Ministry of Steel. Who has been elected as Vice President of Confederation of Indian Industry? Sanjeev Puri. Who has been appointed as new chairman of Central Board of Direct Taxes? Nitin Gupta. Recently, who has become the first Indian captain to take a wicket in T20 international cricket? So Hardik Pandya is the right answer. Hardik Pandya. Which cricket team has recently won the title of Ranji Trophy for the first time? Madhya Pradesh. How many crore rupees has been imposed by Reserve Bank of India on Ola Financial Services? Rupees 1.67 crore. The government of which country has decided to honor former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe posthumously with Supreme Order of Chrysanthemum? Japan. Recently, Paparaja Naidu Himalayan Zoological Park has launched an ambitious program to release how many red pandas into wild in about 5 years? 20. According to United Nations, which of the following country will overtake China to become world's most populous country in 2023? India. Who has recently been included in wall of former chief economist of International Monetary Fund? Geeta Gopinath. Which state government has recently launched Mission Kaushal Karmi Yojana? Delhi. World Malala Day is celebrated on which day? 12th July. In which country was the World Peace Forum 2022 organized? China. Indian captain Rohit Sharma has become first Asian player to hit how many fours in men's T20 cricket? 300. India has provided more than 44,000 tons of urea under the loan facility to which country which is facing severe economic crisis? Sri Lanka. Which former CEO of think tank Niti Aayog was appointed by central government? India's new Sherpa has been selected for G20. Amitabh Kant. Which has become first state in the country to have 13 expressway? Uttar Pradesh. Which former Prime Minister of Japan has died after being hit shot while delivering a speech in city of Nara? Shinzo Abe. The Union Health Ministry has reduced the gap of booster dose from 9 months to how many months for people above 18 years of age? 6 months. From which ministerial post has Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi resigned? Union Minister of Minority Affairs. Which country has signed agreement for supply of technology for Kundankulam nuclear power plant in Tamil Nadu? Russia. In which country the government has declared a state of emergency in 5 northern regions around the Po River in view of severe drought in country? Italy. In which state scientific Kai chutney has been submitted for geographical indication registry? Odisha. Recently, the people of which state have celebrated Sao Joao festival? Goa. The first Indo-Nepal Bharat Gaurav tourist train has been flagged off from which railway station? from Safdarjung railway station. Which state government has announced the first Kampegoda award to S.M. Krishna, S.R. Narayan Murthy and Prakash Padukone? Answer Karnataka. Which state has recently launched the medical insurance scheme MediSafe scheme for state employees pensioners? Kerala. Who has been appointed as the chairman of advisory committee to assist committee of administrators appointed by Supreme Court recently? Ranjit Bajaj. Which state has been ranked first in Asia in recently released Global Startup Ecosystem Report in Affordable Talent? Kerala. According to report of World Gold Council, which of the following has India ranked in the global gold recycling? Fourth. Which state government has recently launched the Nari Ko Naman scheme for women of the state? Himachal Pradesh. India's largest floating solar power plant has been fully commissioned by NTPC in which state? Telangana. International Cooperative Day is celebrated on which day? First Saturday of July. Which medal has been won by Neeraj Chopra while performing brilliantly in the Diamond League recently? Silver medal. In which city the Ministry of Dairying and Animal Husbandry has launched the One Health pilot project on 28th June 2022? Answer is Bangalore. What has been renamed as Aurangabad district of Maharashtra? Answer is Sambhaji Nagar. According to QS Best Student Cities 2023, which is the highest ranked city in India in terms of living for students from all over the world? 192 का answer will be D, Mumbai. Which medal has been won by Deepak Punia in Under 23 Asian Wrestling Championship in Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan? Bronze medal. Which country has announced to transfer Iskander-M missile system to Belarus? Russia. From which date the central government has banned the use of single-use plastic? July 1st, 2022. Recently, who has become the first woman president of Federation of International Cricketers Association? Lisa Sthalekar. Which country has launched solid fuel rocket Juljana into space? Iran. Which state has launched the vehicle monitoring system Suraksha Mitra project? Punjab. What is the rank of India in recently released World Press Freedom Index 2022? 150th. 150th. What is position of Indian men's football team in recently released FIFA World Ranking? 104. Who has been appointed as the new head of National Investigation Agency? Dinkar Gupta. Which state has recently approved 3700 megawatt Adani Green Energy project? Andhra Pradesh. Who has been honored with Golden Achievement Award 2021 by International Tennis Hall of Fame and International Tennis Association recently? Vijay Amrit Raj. Recently, who has become the 27th Chief Justice of Himachal Pradesh High Court? Amjad Ehteshan Sayyed. Mukhyamantri Bal Gopal Yojana is related to which state? It is related to Rajasthan. Recently, who has been awarded the first prize in National MSME Award 2022? Odisha. Passport Seva Divas is celebrated on which date? 24 June. International Olympic Day is celebrated on which day? 23 June. According to the Global Livability Index 2022, Economic Intelligence Unit, which is the city in the world to live in, best city. Best city is Vienna, which is capital of Austria. Which state government has recently launched a medical insurance scheme called MediSave for government employees and pensioners? Answer is Kerala. Which airport has become first airport in country to meet renewable energy requirements? Indira Gandhi International Airport. Recently, which country has successfully launched Nuri rocket? Nuri rocket was launched by South Korea. In which country the 48th G7 Summit 2022 was organized? Germany. Which country has topped the Asian Cycling Championship 2022 with 27 medals? Japan. Next question है, Ministry of Defence and Ministry of Home Affairs has announced to reserve what percentage of jobs for Agniveers after 4 years of service? आंसर होगा इसका 10%. Which Australian player has become the second cricketer in one day international history to be stumped for 99 runs? David Warner. Which answer is David Warner. Which has become the last state in country to join the One Nation One Ration Card scheme? Assam. Which state has won the title of first under 19 T20 National Cricket Championship organized by Deaf Cricket Association of India? Andhra Pradesh. Who has been nominated by Bharatiya Janata Party for presidential election? Draupadi Murmu. Which Indian Institute of Technology has developed a robot to clean septic tanks? IIT Madras. Which state government has recently launched Inam Ijutham Yojana? Tamil Nadu. Which country has launched the largest and most modern aircraft carrier Fujian? China. World Sickle Cell Awareness Day is observed on which day? 19th June. In which country will FIFA Under 17 Women's World Cup be organized? India. What is the theme of International Yoga Day 2022? Yoga for Humanity. On which day World Refugee Day is celebrated? 20th June. Who has become the oldest Indian player to score T20 50? Dinesh Karthik. How many years has central government increased the upper limit of Agnipath scheme from 21 years for the first year? 23 years. अग्निपथ नहीं होगा, अग्निवीर होगा ये, अग्निपथ यहाँ अग्निपथ ही है और कहे जाएंगे वो लोग अग्निवीर. Which country former captain 37-year-old William Porterfield has retired from international cricket? Ireland. Which Indian American has been nominated by US President Joe Biden to a top Pentagon post? Radha Iyengar Plumb. Who has been appointed as President of Press Council of India? Ranjan Prakash Desai. Aarti Prabhakar has been appointed as Science Advisor to President of which country? America. Who has been conferred with the Honorary Doctor of Literature by HSNC University, Maharashtra recently? Ratan Tata. Recently, who has been appointed as the Under Secretary General of United Nations? Rabab Fatima. Which country has agreed to abolish compulsory death penalty? Malaysia. In which city India's first display fabrication unit will be set up? Hyderabad. International Family Dispatch Day is observed on which day? 16th June. French power company Total Energies will acquire what percent stake in Adani Group's green hydrogen venture? 25%. The government of which country has decided to remove the strict visa restrictions imposed on Indians due to COVID-19 epidemic? China. World Elder Abuse Awareness Day is observed on which day? 15th June. Recently, which state government has launched Suraksha Mitra project? Kerala. Which medal did Guru Naidu Senapati win for India at 2022 IWF Youth World Championship in Mexico? Gold medal. Recently, who has won gold medal in under 15 Asian Junior Squash Championship? Anahata Singh. Who has been appointed as new Chief Executive Officer of Niti Aayog? Parameswaram Iyer. Who has been appointed as new Chief of Intelligence Bureau? Tapan Deka. Recently, which country female cricketer Rumeli Dhar has retired from international cricket? India. Recently, who has become the first woman president of Federation of Indian International Cricketers Association? Lisa Starlaker. On which date International Widow Day is celebrated every year? 23rd June. Who has become the first women batch of India to clear NDA exam? Sanan Dhaka. Recently, who has been appointed as the next permanent representative of India to United Nations? Ruchira Kamboj. Which International Yoga Day is celebrated on 21st June? 8. Recently, Gustavo Petro has become the new president of which country? Colombia. Recently, the world's largest plant, 150 meter, has been discovered off the coast of Australia, which is named as Poseidonia australis. On which date World Refugee Day is celebrated every year? 20th June. Recently, which Indian person has become the new CEO of American telecom company Verizon? Soumya Narayan Sampath. What is the rank of India in Global Competitiveness Index 2022 released by IMD? 37th. Between which two cities the country's first private train has been operated under Bharat Gaurav Yojana? Coimbatore to Shirdi. Recently, which scheme has been launched by central government to recruit youth for 4 years in Indian Army? Agnipath. Recently, which country has become first country in world to print warning on cigarettes? Canada. Recently, the great Indian man Hari Chand has passed away at the age of 69. He was a runner. Which male cricketer has been awarded the ICC Player of the Month for May 2022? The answer is C. Angelo Matthews. Which state has become the winner of Khelo India Youth Games 2021? Answer is Haryana. Which chess player has recently become 74th Grandmaster of India? Rahul Srivastava. On which date World Blood Donor Day is celebrated every year? 14th June. Who has been appointed as the new MD and CEO of RBL Bank? R. Subramania Kumar. Recently, India's first COVID-19 vaccine for animals has been launched, which is named Enocovax, which has become the first Asian country to lift the ban on bhang. Thailand. When is World Child Labour Prohibition Day celebrated every year? 12th June. Which has become the first state in India to formulate a drone policy? Himachal Pradesh. Famous female player Mithali Raj has announced her retirement from which international sport? Cricket. Who has been appointed as new managing director of SBI replacing Ashwini Bhatia? Alok Kumar Chaudhary. When is World Ocean Day celebrated every year? 8th June. What is the rank of India among 180 countries of Global Environmental Performance Index 2022? Answer is 180th. Last. Who has become the new chairman of International Aluminium Institute? Satish Pal. Recently, Bajram Begaj has become new president of which country? Albania. On which date World Food Safety Day celebrated every year? 7th June. Who has received the Best Actor award at IFA Award 2022? Vicky Kaushal. Which tennis player has won the men's single title at French Open 2022? Rafael Nadal. Recently, who has been appointed as new managing director of Union Bank of India? A. Mani Mekalai. On which date World Environment Day is celebrated every year? 5th June. The Delhi government has decided to use which word is in place of word Harijan? Dr. Ambedkar. In which state of India has world's first liquid mirror telescope been installed recently? Uttarakhand. Which Indian American student has recently won prestigious Spelling Bee competition 2022? Harini Logan. Who has been appointed as new Chief Operating Officer of Facebook and parent company Meta? Xavier Olivan. On which date World Bicycle Day is celebrated every year? 3rd June. Recently, the famous Persian Pandit Bhajan Supori has passed away at the age of 74. He was a santoor player. Who has become the new Director General of National Informatics Center, NIC? 287 का आंसर will be D. Rajesh Gera. Which state has celebrated 9th Foundation Day on 2nd June? Answer is Telangana. Who has been appointed as new Director General of Sashastra Seema Bal? Answer is SL Thoisen. On which date World Milk Day is celebrated every year? 1st June. Recently, famous personality Krishna Kumar Kunath has passed away at the age of 53. He was a singer. Which state's 35th Foundation Day has been celebrated on 30th May 2022? Answer is 31st May. Answer is 292 का Goa. When is world's no tobacco day celebrated every year? 31st May. On which date Hindi Journalism Day is celebrated every year? 30th May. Which film famous singer and actor Sidhu Moosewala has passed away at the age of 29? Punjabi. In which city India's nano liquid urea plant has been inaugurated recently? Gandhinagar, Gujarat. When is World Menstrual Hygiene Day celebrated every year? 28th May. Which Bollywood actor has received Excellence in Cinema Award at French Riviera Film Festival? Nawazuddin Siddiqui. Who has become the first Indian author to win Booker Prize? Gitanjali Sri. When cricket team has recently won the which cricket team has recently won the won the title of Ranji Trophy for the first time? Madhya Pradesh. Who won 15th edition of IPL in final match played at Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad on 29th May 2022? Gujarat Titans. Which state has recently decided that in all its state universities, instead of governor, the chief minister will be chancellor? Answer is West Bengal. Where has India's first Olympic value education program started recently? Answer is Odisha. Which has become the first metro city to get its own biodiversity? Kolkata. What is theme of Swachh Sarvekshan 2023? Waste to Wealth. Which institute has recently established a supercomputer named Param Porul? NIT Tiruchirappalli. Which former union minister announced that he has resigned from Indian National Congress Party on 25th May 2022? Kapil Sibal. Which country has recently become the first Gulf country to register a case of monkeypox? UAE. Who has been elected as head of World Health Organization recently? Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. Who has won the Best Actor award at 75th Cannes Film Festival held in Paris, France on May 29, 2022? Song Kang-ho. India has slipped to what position in Global Travel and Tourism Development Index? 54th. The president of which country recently announced the creation of Indo-Pacific Economic Framework for Prosperity in Japan? D. America. Which organization has honored 1 million ASA workers of India for their outstanding contribution in advancing global health? WHO. The Supreme Court Collegium has approved the appointment of how many additional judges of Allahabad High Court as permanent judges? Total 10. Prime Minister Narendra Modi recently inaugurated India's first 5G test bed. For how many crores has it been set up? 220 crore. India celebrates National Anti-Terrorism Day every year on 21st May. This day is observed as the death anniversary of which Prime Minister? Rajiv Gandhi. International Tea Day. International Tea Day is celebrated on which date? Answer is C. 21st May. Which Indian origin businessman has been elected mayor of the London Borough of Southwark for second time? Sunil Chopra. Which country has been elected by United Nations General Assembly in secret ballot to replace Czech Republic in United Nations Human Rights Council? So 319 answer is D. Russia. Global Accessibility Awareness Day is observed on which day? 3rd Thursday of May. The High Court has cancelled the famous existing Ghar Ghar Ration distribution scheme. Chief Minister, Ghar Ghar Ration scheme of which state government? So answer is Delhi. Which institute has announced to set up 3 $30 billion in aid addressed to food security? Answer is 322 World Bank. Which Congress leader has been sentenced to 1 year imprisonment by Supreme Court in the 3-decade-old road rage case? Navjot Singh Sidhu. Which country recently hosted the Deaflympic 2022? Answer is Brazil. Which state UT government is planning to launch urban agriculture policy? Delhi. The Punjab government has announced to increase the compensation amount to families of martyr soldiers from 50 lakh to how many crores? 1 crore. 326 का हो जाएगा 1 crore. 1 crore. Who has been appointed as the head coach of England's white ball cricket team? Matthew Mott. Which country was offered the use of Chittagong port in Bangladesh by Prime Minister of Bangladesh? India. What is the theme of International Museum Day 2022? Answer is the power of the museum. World AIDS Vaccine Day is observed on which day? 18th May. Which Mumbai Indians fast bowler has become the first Indian pacer to take 250 wicket in T20 cricket? Jasprit Bumrah. Anna Kabale Duba of which country was honored with the Esther Guardian Global Nursing Award 2022, World Best Nurse in Dubai? Answer is Kenya. Which country President Emmanuel Macron has appointed Labour Party leader Elizabeth Borne as country's new Prime Minister? Answer is France. Recently, Finland and which country has shown interest in to join NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization? Answer is Sweden. Recently, who has been sworn in as the Chief Minister of Tripura? Manik Saha. On which day is the World Agri-Tourism Day celebrated? 16th May. Which country has been elected as the new President of Association of Asian Election Authority for 2022-2024? India. Katalin Novak has been elected as the first female president of which country? Hungary. Who has been appointed as the head coach of England men test team? Brandon McCullum. Recently, who has become the first woman officer to join the Army Aviation Corps as combat aviator? Abhilasha Barak. Which birth anniversary of Raja Ram Mohan Roy was celebrated all over India on 22nd May 2022? 250th. Recently, who has been appointed as the new Lieutenant Governor of Delhi by President Ramnath Kovind? Vinay Kumar Saxena. Which male cricketer has been awarded the ICC Player of the Month for April 2022? Keshav Maharaj. When is International Day of Biodiversity celebrated every year? 22nd May. Recently, who has been appointed as the new Private Secretary of PM Modi? Vivek Kumar. Recently, Anthony Albanese has become the new Prime Minister of which country? Australia. On which date World Bee Day is celebrated every year? 20 May. Recently, who has become the new CEO of Indian airline company Indigo? Peter Elbers. Recently, who has become the new chairman of India's major stock exchange BSE? SS Mudra. On which date World Hypertension Day is celebrated every year? 17th May. Recently, Sun Sheikh Mahmood has been elected as the new president of which country? Somalia. Recently, who has become the new prime minister of France? Elizabeth Borny. Recently, India's first Amrit Sarovar was inaugurated by Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi in Patwai of which state? Uttar Pradesh. On which date International Family Day is celebrated every year? 15th May. Recently, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan has become the new president of which Gulf country? UAE. UAE. Recently, which country's badminton team has won the title of Thomas Cup 2022? India. Which country former cricketer Andrew Simon has passed away recently? Australia. Answer is Australia. Recently, who has won the Templeton Prize for the year 2022? Answer is Frank Wilczek. Recently, who has been appointed as the new chairperson of the Central Board of Secondary Education (CBSE)? Nidhi Chibbar. Who has been appointed as the new CEO of Air India recently? Campbell Wilson. Recently, who has become the first Indian brand ambassador of French fashion company Louis Vuitton? Deepika Padukone. Recently, Dinesh Gunawardena has become Prime Minister of Sri Lanka. Who has been appointed as the new Chief Election Commissioner of India recently? Rajiv Kumar. In which city India's first biogas powered EV charging station has been started recently? Mumbai. Recently, famous personality Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma has passed away at the age of 84. Who was he? Answer is musician. Recently, who has become the first state in India to provide breakfast in government school along with midday meal? Answer is A. Tamil Nadu. When is National Technology Day celebrated every year? 11th May. Recently, who has become the new Secretary of Ministry of Economics, Electronics and Information Technology? Alkesh Kumar Sharma. Recently, which tennis player has won men's singles title in Madrid Open 2022? Carlos Alcaraz. Recently, which Indian journalist has received the Pulitzer Prize 2022 posthumously? Danish Siddiqui. Recently, the government of which state has started a loan scheme named Jiv Hala for prisons in jail? Maharashtra. When is World's Thalassemia Day celebrated every year? On 8th May. When is Mother's Day celebrated every year all over India? Second Sunday of May. Recently, who has become the new managing director of TVS Motor? Sudarshan Venu. On which date World Red Cross Day is celebrated every year? On 8th May. Recently, who has received World Food Prize for year 2022? Cynthia Rosenweg. Recently, which state's Mia Kabada railway station has been named Mahesh Nagar Halt, Rajasthan? Recently, who has become the first Indian woman to scale Mount Kanchenjunga? Priyanka Mohite. Recently, who has won the title of World Snooker Championship 2022? Ronnie O'Sullivan. Recently, who has become the first Indian weightlifter to win a gold medal at IWF Junior World Championship? Harshada Garuda. Which football team has recently won the title of Santosh Trophy 2022? Kerala. Recently, the government of which state has started Mukhyamantri Mitan Yojana to provide government services to people sitting at home? Chhattisgarh. What is the rank of India in recently released World Press Freedom Index for year 2022? 150th. On which date World Press Freedom Day is celebrated every year? Third May. When is World Asthma Day celebrated every year? On the first Tuesday of the month of May. Recently, who has been appointed as the new advisor to Prime Minister Narendra Modi? Tarun Kapoor. Which Indian origin person has recently become the new Chief Technology Officer of US Intelligence Agency? Nand Moolchandani. Which two states celebrated their foundation day on 1st May 2022? Gujarat and Maharashtra. Recently, which state has become the first state in India to set up a gene bank project? Maharashtra. On which date International Workers' Day is celebrated every year? 1st May. Recently, who has been appointed as the new Vice Chief of Indian Army? Lieutenant General B.S. Raju. When is World Veterinary Day celebrated every year? 30th April. Recently, who has become the first airline company in India to use Gagan technology? Indigo. Recently, the former Chief Minister of which state, James Dringwell Rimbai, has passed away at the age of 88. Meghalaya. Recently, which city has become the first in India to use vacuum sewer technology? Agra. Recently, with which sport former Indian female player Elvira Brito has passed away at the age of 81? Hockey. Which village has become India's first carbon neutral panchayat recently? Palli, Jammu Kashmir. Who has recently become the new CEO of non-bank lender company Aditya Birla Capital? Visakha Mule. Who has become the new chairman of Hajj Committee of India recently? AP Abdullah Kutti. Recently, who has been selected as Laureus Sportsman of the Year 2022? Max Verstappen. Recently, Elon Musk has announced to buy Twitter for how many billion dollars? $44 billion. On which date World Intellectual Property Day was celebrated recently? 26th April. In which city Union Minister Anurag Thakur has recently inaugurated the second edition of Khelo India University Games? Bangalore. Recently, the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, has demanded the tag of state-sponsored terrorism for Russia from the President of which country? Answer is America. What is the rank of India in terms of military expenditure according to the recently released SIPRI report for the year 2021? Answer is third. Recently, the former president of which country, Mwai Kibaki, has passed away at the age of 90. Kenya. Who has been appointed as the new vice chairman of Niti Aayog recently? Suman Beri. When is World Book Day celebrated every year in world? 23rd April. Recently, who has been appointed as the new principal scientific advisor to PM Modi? Ajay Sood. Recently, the famous writer of which language, Bina Pani Mohanty, has passed away at the age of 85. Udiya. Recently, who has become the first district in India to have liberty in every village? Liberty, it's Jamtara, Jharkhand. On which date World Malaria Day is celebrated every year? 25th April. When is National People's Day celebrated every year all over India? 21st April. Recently, the player of which team, Kieran Pollard, has retired from international cricket, West Indies. Recently, who has become the new country head of technology company Wipro in India? Satya Iswaran. Recently, which state has become the first state in India to establish L-root server at state level? Rajasthan. When is World Earth Day celebrated? 22 April. Who has been appointed as the new Chief Secretary of Delhi recently? Naresh Kumar. Recently, in which state India's first pure green hydrogen plant has been started by oil? Assam. Recently, who has been appointed as the new MD and CEO of insurance company Digit Insurance? Jasleen Kohli. Recently, who has become the new president of Indian Pulses and Grain Association? Bimal Kothari. On which date World Liver Day is celebrated every year? 19th April. Recently, Praful Kar has passed away at the age of 83. Who was he? So he was a lyricist. Recently, who has been appointed as the next Chief of Army Staff of India? Manoj Pandey. Recently, in which city India's first radio channel for the blind has been launched, named Radio Ox? Nagpur. Which state has celebrated its 75th Foundation Day on 15th April 2022? Himachal Pradesh. When is World Art Day celebrated every year? 15th April. Which country has recently got the host of Street Child Cricket World Cup 2023? India. Recently, who has won the honor of EY Entrepreneur of the Year 2021? Falguni Nayar. On which date World Heritage Day is celebrated every year? 18th April. When is World Hemophilia Day celebrated every year? 17th April. Tamil Nadu government has recently announced to celebrate which date every year as Equality Day? 14th April. When is World Voice Day celebrated every year around the world? 16th April. When is Ambedkar Jayanti celebrated every year across India? 14th April. Recently, which male player has received the honor of ICC Player of the Month for March 2022? Babar Azam. Recently, who has become the new chairman of Union Public Service Commission? Dr. Manoj Soni. Recently, Shahbaz Sharif has become new Prime Minister of which neighboring country? Pakistan. Recently, who has become the first player to be retired out in IPL cricket? Ravichandran Ashwin. Which driver has recently won F1 Australian Grand Prix 2022? Charles Leclerc. Recently, which country has become the first country in the world to give legal right to wild animals? Ecuador. When is National Safe Motherhood Day celebrated every year in India? 11th April. Recently, who was honored with the first Lata Dinanath Mangeshkar Award? Narendra Modi. When is World Homeopathy Day celebrated every year? 10th April. On which date World Health Day is celebrated every year? 7th April. Who has won Best New Artist Award at 64th Grammy Award? Olivia Rodrigo. Recently, which tennis player has won the men's single title in Miami Open 2022? Carlos Alcaraz. Which cricket team has recently won the title of ICC Women's World Cup 2022? Australia. Recently, who has been appointed as the new managing director of Delhi Metro Rail Corporation (DMRC)? Answer is Vikas Kumar. Recently, who has been given Saraswati Samman for the year 2021? Ramdaras Misra. Recently, Viktor Orban became the Prime Minister of which country for the first time? Fourth time, sorry. Hungary. With who has won the Best International Feature Film Award in 2022? Drive My Car. Recently, Pramod Sawant has become the Chief Minister of which state for the second time in a row? Goa. Which Indian player has recently won the women's single title in Swiss Open Badminton Championship 2022? 453. Answer PV Sindhu. Recently, which day has been announced by central government to celebrate as National Dolphin Day? 5th October. Who has been appointed as the new Foreign Secretary of India recently? 455. Answer is B. Binay Kumar Quatra. Recently, who has become the new president of NAV? Mahesh Verma. Recently, who has become the new Director General of Geological Survey of India? GSI. Answer is Dr. S. Raju. Who has recently won BBC Indian Sportswoman of the Year 2021? Mirabai Chanu. The birthday of Anandi Gopal Joshi is celebrated all over India on 31st March. She was India's first woman doctor. When is Rajasthan Day celebrated every year? 30th March. Which Indian origin person has recently become the new CEO of American courier service company FedEx? Raj Subramaniam. When was Foundation Day of Reserve Bank of India celebrated? 1st April. The Foundation Day of which state is celebrated every year on 1st April? Odisha. Recently, who became the highest wicket taker, 171 wicket in IPL cricket till date? Dwayne Bravo. Recently, the former Chief Minister of which state, Bhim Bahadur Gurung, has passed away at the age of 93. Sikkim. In which state India's first steel road has been built recently? Gujarat. Madeleine Albright, the first woman foreign minister of which country, has recently passed away at age of 84. America. Which state has topped under the best state category in 3rd National Water Award? Uttar Pradesh. With which organization the book Indian Agriculture Towards 2030 was released by Niti Aayog? FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization. Which state Jing Queen Jerry or Living Root Bridge has been included in tentative list of World Heritage Site of UNESCO? Meghalaya. Answer is Meghalaya. India's first World Peace Center is being established in which city of country? Gurugram. In which of its division Indian Railways commissioned the Gati Shakti multimodal cargo terminal? Asansol. In which Indian city the first road project made of waste steel has started? Surat. Which state has topped in Niti Aayog Export Preparedness Index 2021? Gujarat. Which Indian state is all set to become first state in country to introduce carbon neutral farming for better soil health? Kerala. Which institution has issued the world first wildlife conservation bond? World Bank. Pralay Mandal was appointed as interim MD and CEO of which bank? CSB Bank. Auto First application has been launched by which bank to provide fully automatic auto loans? HDFC Bank. What is total limit of UPI Lite balance for on-device wallet? 2000. Which is the first state in the country to use crop diversification index? Telangana. With which northeast country has Germany signed an agreement pact to reduce its dependence on Russia? The answer is Qatar. Name the cargo ship that has become longest ever to sail on Brahmaputra River. MV Ram Prasad Bismil. India's first virtual smart grid knowledge center, virtual SGKC, has been developed by which company? Answer is C. Power Grid. Rest Assured is autobiography of which former cricketer? G.R. Biswanath. Who has become the first para-athlete to receive the Padma Bhushan Award? Devendra Jhajaria. Who has announced as 23rd latest female Grandmaster of India? Priyanka Nutki. In which country the Mahatma Gandhi Green Triangle was inaugurated by Embassy of India as part of India's Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav festival? Madagascar. Which country was largest exporter of arms during 2017-2021 as per SIPRI report? Answer is 488. Answer is America. Recently, which ministry has organized All India program Jharokha? So it is organized by both BNC, यानी कि Ministry of Textile and Ministry of Culture. In which state India will become the first international furniture park will be built? India's first international furniture park will be built in which state? Answer is C. Tamil Nadu. In which city country's first drone school has been inaugurated recently? Gwalior. In which state is the world's tallest statue of Lord Gautam Buddha being constructed in sleeping posture? Answer is Bihar. In which country will the 51st Southeast Asian Games be held in year 2022? Answer is A. Vietnam. The Indian Army version of medium range surface to air missile MRSAM has been deployed by DRDO in partnership with which country? Answer is Israel. Which institute has set up new interdisciplinary water management and policy center named EquaMap to solve water problems in India? The answer is B. IIT Madras. Which film was first won the best film award at 94th Academy Award? Answer is Coda. What is the theme of World Theatre Day in year 2022? Theatre and Culture of Peace. Who has written children's book The Little Book of Joy? इसमें दो लोगों ने लिखा है मिलकर, देशमुंद टूटू और तेंजिन ग्याप्स्टोन ने मिलकर लिखा है, तो आंसर हो जाएगा डी. विच कंट्री हैज अनाउंस्ड टू ऑनर प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ यूक्रेन व्लादिमीर जेलेंस्की विथ इट्स टॉप स्टेट ऑनर? 499 का आंसर विल बी ए. चेक रिपब्लिक. विच रेलवे जोन हैज लॉन्च्ड इंडियाज फर्स्ट गति शक्ति मल्टी मॉडल कार्गो टर्मिनल? तो ये कोलकाता वाला है. आंसर इज ईस्टर्न रेलवे जोन. हु हैज रिसेंटली वन इट्स फर्स्ट इंडियन सुपर लीग ISL टाइटल? Answer is Hyderabad FC. Who has become the new MD and CEO of Maruti Suzuki India recently? Answer is Hisashi Takeuchi. which has become the first state to implement NEVA program recently? Nagaland. Recently, Yogi Adityanath has become Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh for which consecutive term? Second. Recently, the famous personality Ramesh Chandra Lohati has passed away at the age of 81. Who was he? So, he was a former Chief Justice who has been elected as the Speaker of Punjab Legislative Assembly. Speaker Kultar Singh Sandhawa, who has won Formula One Bahrain Grand Prix 2022 title. Charles Leclerc. Recently, Dennis Parnell Sullivan has received the Abel Prize for the year 2022. In which field this award given? Mathematics. Recently, where is SAF Under 18 Women's Championship 2022 organized? Jharkhand. Where has the 35th Suraj Kund International Craft Mela started? Faridabad. Answer is Faridabad. When is World's Meteorological Day celebrated every year? 23rd March. Who has become the first para-athlete to receive the Padma Bhushan Award? Devendra Jhajaria. In which state India's first paperless state assembly has been formed recently? Nagaland. Recently, India and which country have started clean energy partnership? Japan. When has World's Sparrow Day been celebrated recently? Answer is 20th March. Recently, Australian player Ashley Barty has announced to retire from which sport? Tennis. In the recently released World Air Quality Report of IQ Air, which has become the world's most polluted capital city in 2021? Delhi. Who has written Soli Sorabji biography Soli Sorabji Life and Time recently? Abhinav Chandrachud. Which state government will constitute the State OBC Commission? Assam. On which date World Tuberculosis Day is celebrated every year? 24th March. Pushkar Singh Dhami become the Chief Minister of which state for second time? Uttarakhand. Recently, who has become the brand ambassador of sports brand Puma? Puma का बन गए हैं जॉर्ज रसेल. Where has 26th edition of International Film Festival started recently? Answer is Goa. Answer is Thiruvananthapuram. The foundation day of which state is celebrated every year on 22nd March? Bihar. Recently, Ritu Khandari has become the first woman speaker of which state assembly? Uttarakhand. Who among the following has topped it in terms of per capita income? Sikkim. Recently, who has been appointed as new president of BARC India? Shashi Sinha. Recently, government has set a target to build how many new airports by 2025? 220. When is International Happiness Day celebrated every year? 20th March. Recently, who has won the crown of Miss World 2021? Carolina Bilawaska. Who has got the Best Film Award in BAFTA Award 2022? The Power of Dog. When is World Water Day celebrated every year? 22 March. N. Biren Singh has become Chief Minister of which state for the second time? Manipur. Who recently won BBC Indian Sports Woman of the Year Award 2021? Answer is Mirabai Chanu. Recently, who won the men's single title in All England Badminton 2022 champions? championship? Answer is Victor Excelson. Who is World's Poetry? What? When is World's Poetry Day celebrated every year? 21st March. Recently, which Indian company has become the first Indian company to sponsor FIFA World Cup 2022? Baizu. Recently, Pushkar Singh Dhami has taken oath as which Chief Minister of Uttarakhand? 11th. Which Indian origin doctor has recently been appointed as the White House coordinator for COVID-19 response? Ashish Jha. Who has been appointed as next Director General of ILO? Answer is Gilbert Hongbu. Who has topped the Export Preparedness Index released by Niti Aayog? Answer is Gujarat. Recently, who has been appointed as new Commandant of Indian Air Force Academy? B. Chandrasekhar. What is the rank of India in recently released World Happiness Report 2022? 136. On which date every year National Immunization Day is celebrated across India? 16th March. In which city India's first wholly woman-owned epfo industrial park has opened recently? Hyderabad. Recently, who has become the first female president of Hungary? Kathleen Novak. Which state government has recently announced to give Sushma Swaraj Puraskar to women? Haryana. Who has been appointed as the new chairman of National Financial Reporting Authority recently? Ajay Bhushan Pandey. Which state government has recently launched a new sports policy 2022-2027? Gujarat. In which state tallest statue 100 feet of Lord Buddha in sleeping posture is being constructed? Bihar. Recently, which country's government has given a sports icon award to former Indian cricketer Suresh Raina? Maldives. Answer is Maldives. Recently, which male player has been given ICC Player of the Month award for February 2022? Shreyas Iyer, India. Who has been appointed as advisor in Defence Ministry? Binod G. Khandare. Who has recently won the Governor of the Year award in Central Banking Award 2022? Mario Merkel. Recently, the 9th Joint Military Exercise Lamityr 2022 has been started in India and which country? India and Seychelles. When is International Mathematics Day celebrated every year? 14th March. Recently, who has become the fastest Indian batsman to score the fastest 50-28 balls in Test cricket? Rishabh Pant. Recently, Bhagwant Mann has become the 17th Chief Minister of which state? Punjab. Recently, who has become the new Chairman and Managing Director of Oil India Limited? Ranjit Rath. Recently, Yoon Suk Yeol has become the new president of which country? South Korea. Recently, the teeth company Samsung Samsung has opened India's first women-operated mobile store in which city? Ahmedabad. Recently, who has been appointed as new CEO of by Colgate Palmolive India? Prabha Narasimhan. Recently, who has become the new chairman of Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India? Devashish Panda. Recently, which state has become the first to use Crop Diversification Index? Telangana. The government of which state has recently started chsl Matritva Yojana for daughters? Chhattisgarh. Recently, which country former president Rafiq Tarar has passed away at the age of 92. Afghanistan. Recently, Australian player Shane Warne, related to which sport, has passed away at the age of 52. Cricket. When was 187th Assam Rifle Raising Day celebrated recently? March 24th March. Who has topped the global home price index Q4 2021 released by Knight Frank recently? Turkey. Recently, a joint training exercise named Exercise Dastalik has started between armies of India and which country? Uzbekistan. Who has recently won 13th Green Storm Photography Award? Mohammad Reza Masumi. Recently, which state Tarsing Pettai Nageswaram has got GI tag? Tamil Nadu. Recently, the government of which state has announced to implement camel protection and development policy? Rajasthan. Recently, which country former cricketer Rod Mars has passed away at the age of 74? Australia. On which date Raising Day of Central Industrial Security Force is celebrated every year? 10th March. On which date World Wildlife Day is celebrated every year? 3rd March. Who has recently been appointed as new Police Commissioner of Mumbai by Government of Maharashtra? Sanjay Pandey. Recently, who has been appointed as new Chairman of the Telecom Dispute Settlement and Appellate Tribunal? Justice D.N. Patel. When is International Women's Day celebrated every year? 8th March. When has Earth Hour 2022 been celebrated recently? 26th March. With which country has India recently signed an agreement for cooperation in the field of education? Maldives. Recently, who has been appointed as new Chief Financial Officer of LIC? Sunil Agrawal. When is World Civil Defense Day celebrated every year? 1st March. Recently, how many women have been honored with Nari Shakti Puraskar for the year 2020-2021? 29. In which state India's first alcohol museum has been opened recently? Goa. Recently, who has been appointed as the new brand ambassador of Dish TV India? Rishabh Pant. When is Central Excise Duty Day celebrated every year? 24th February. According to recent announcement, in which country the first IIT institute will be opened outside India? UAE. Recently, who has become the first Indian player to win a silver medal in Para World Championship? Pooja Chatayan. Recently, who has been appointed as its new brand ambassador by Bharti AXA Life Insurance? Vidya Balan. Recently, who has become the women cricketer to play most number of ICC World Cup? Mithali Raj. Recently, who has been appointed as new CEO of airline company Jet Airways? Sanjeev Kapoor. Who has been appointed as new CEO of Yash Raj Film? Akshay Bidhi. Recently, who has become the first Indian person to be awarded the Boltzmann Medal? Deepak Dhar. Recently, the former Chief Minister of which state, Hemanand Biswal, has passed away at the age of 82? Odisha. The government of which state has recently announced the creation of India's first e-waste eco park? Delhi. The answer is Delhi. Recently, who has been appointed as the first woman president of SEBI? Madhvi Puri Vuj. Which campaign has been launched recently by Ministry of Education to promote cultural diversity? Bhasa Certificate Selfie. Which player has recently won the men's single titles in the Mexico Open Tennis Tournament 2022? Rafael Nadal. Who has won the leading actor award in BAFTA Award 2022? Will Smith. Which country has launched the first hydrogen powered train? Japan. India and which country signed the Blue Economy Roadmap? France. Which country has recently divided Ukraine into three parts? Russia. The government of which state has recently launched India's first night navigation mobile app for ferry services? Assam. Answer is Assam. Who has recently become the new chairman of International Rubber Study Group? K.N. Raghavan. Which company has recently launched India's first gold powered card? The answer is Meta 4. Recently, which has become the first university in India to get the NBA recognition? Chandigarh University. Recently, Indian player V.R. Vanitha has announced to retire from which sport? Cricket. Who has won the most medal in Winter Olympic 2022? Norway. Where is Indian Railway building the country's first cable rail bridge? Jammu Kashmir. Where did Himachal Pradesh get its first biodiversity park recently? Mandi. Recently, who has been given Pakistan's second highest civilian award, Hilale Pakistan? Bill Gates. Bill Gates. Which ministry has recently launched Meri Policy Mera Haath campaign? Ministry of Agriculture. Recently, Adani Group has tied up with Ballard Power System of which country for hydrogen fuel cell? Canada. Recently, which film has been selected as Film of the Year at Dadasaheb Phalke International Film Award 2022? Puspa the Rise. Answer is Puspa the Rise. Recently, who has reached the top of ICC T20 team ranking? India. Answer is India. When is International Mother Language Day celebrated every year? Answer is 21st February. According to recent Hurun India Wealth Report, by what percentage has India's millennial household increased in 2021? 11%. Who became the first country to adopt India's UPI payment system? Nepal. Which has become the first Indian company to have plastic waste neutral? Dabur India. Recently, which film has received the Best Film Award at the Dadasaheb Phalke International Film Festival 2022? Shershah. Who has written famous book A History of Sri Niketan? Uma Das Gupta. France has announced military withdrawal from which country after 9 years? Mali. Recently, who has become the first state in India to introduce a smart card for arm license? Delhi. Recently, the president of Turkey has changed the name of his country to what? Turkey. Recently, who has been appointed as the first National Maritime Security Coordinator? G. Ashok Kumar. Recently, who has launched Kisan mobile app? IIT Roorkee. In which country India will set up first IIT under latest trade? UAE. According to declaration of WHO, how many African countries will be given the mRNA technology? 6. Recently, which country has become the first country in the world to allow drones to fly civilian airspace? Israel. Which men's player has won the ICC Player of the Month award for January 2022? Keegan Peterson. Who has become the first player to score a triple century in Ranji Trophy 2022? Sakibul Ghani. US and which other country will organize joint air exercise COP South 2022? Bangladesh. Recently, who has been chosen as the Business Standard Banker of the Year 2020-2021? Chetan Ghate. Who has been elected as the new president of ICAI for year 2022-2023? Devashish Mitra. On whose birthday is National Women's Day celebrated every year on 13th February across India? Sarojini Naidu. Where will South Asia's largest biochemical plant be built? Madhya Pradesh. Who has become the Deputy Chief of Army Staff recently? Chanira Punappa. Recently, who has started program Waste to Wealth Creation? SIDBI. On which day World Radio Day is celebrated every year? 13th February. What is the rank of India in Economic Intelligence Unit Democracy Index 2021? 46th. Recently, which has become first Union Territory of India to join National Single Window System? Jammu Kashmir. According to recent announcement, in which city India's first bullet train station will be built? Surat. Which has become the most congested city in India as per the recently released TomTom Traffic Index 2021? Answer is Mumbai. Recently, which Indian company has tied up with Taiwanese company to manufacture semiconductors? Vedanta. In which country is Lassa fever spreading very fast? Britain. When has the International Childhood Cancer Day been celebrated recently? 15th February. Recently, what name has been announced by Ahmedabad new franchise of IPL? Gujarat Titans. Who has been recently appointed by central government as the new Secretary of Department of Financial Services? Sanjay Malhotra. World Pulses Day is celebrated every year on which date? 10th February. Recently, who has become the new chairman of pharmaceutical company Pfizer India? Answer is Pradeep Saha. According to latest Bloomberg report released recently, who has become the richest person in Asia? Gautam Adani. Which space agency has recently launched the PSLV C-52 satellite? ISRO. Which football team has recently won the title of AFC Women's Asian Cup 2022? China. Which country has recently become the first country in world to have DNA vaccine against COVID-19? India. Recently, who has released Reimagining Healthcare in India report? Niti Aayog. Which space agency has deactivated the INSET 4B satellite? ISRO. Recently, who has become the first cricket team in world to play 1000 one-day internationals? India. Recently, in which state India's first graphene innovation center has been announced to be established? Kerala. Who has recently become the new chairman of Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India? Ravi Mittal. Recently, who has become the director of DRDO? DRDL, Defense Research Development Laboratory, the flagship laboratory of DRDO. G.S. Srinivas Murthy. Recently, which player has received the ICC Spirit of the Cricket Award 2021? Daryl Mitchell. Daryl Mitchell, New Zealand. Recently, who has won the title of Under 19 World Cup 2022? India. Recently, in whose memory PM Modi has dedicated a statue named Statue of Equality to the nation? Sant Ramanujan Charya. Which country has recently boycotted the Winter Olympic 2022? India. Which of its Raging Day is celebrated by Indian Coast Guard on February 1, 2022? 46th. Recently, which Indian player has won the title of World Games Athlete of the Year 2021? PR Series. Recently, Xiomara Castro has become the first female president of which country? Honduras. Answer is Honduras. What is the theme of World Wetland Day celebrated on 2nd February 2022? Wetland Action for People and Nature. Who won the women's single title in Odisha Open 2022 recently? Unnati Hooda. Omar Atta Bandial has become 28th Chief Justice of which neighboring country? Pakistan. Who has recently become the new Director General of National Institute of Electronics and Information Technology? Madan Mohan Tripathi. Recently, who has become the new Chief of Defense Intelligence Agency? G.A.V. Reddy. According to the recent announcement, in which city India's first geological park will be built? Jabalpur. Recently, which state has been connected with goods train for the first time? Manipur. In which Gulf country was the first yoga festival organized recently? Saudi Arabia. Recently, who has won the men's single title in Australian Open 2022? Rafael Nadal. Recently, in which city the foundation stone of India's first Constitution Park has been laid? Jaipur. Who has won the record 21st Grand Slam title recently? Rafael Nadal. Who has recently won the Big Boss Season 15 trophy? Tejasvi Prakash. Who has launched the India's first intelligent messenger POPs? Paytm Money. Recently, who became the first sports unicorn company of the country? Chennai Super King. Who has overtaken Bengaluru as a startup capital of India recently? Delhi. Which city has become the recipient of a climate action plan recently? Nasik. Recently, which bank has tied up with Tata Power for financing solar projects? SBI. Which country has recently been declared by US as its major non-NATO ally? Qatar. Recently, which state's Khijadia bird sanctuary has been listed as Ramsar site? Gujarat. Recently, who has been selected as the best state tableau in the Republic Day Parade 2022? Uttar Pradesh. Recently, which country has entered the new year of tiger? China. Recently, which country has topped as India's trade partner in 2021? 690's answer is B. America. Who has written famous book Golden Boy? Neeraj Chopra. Navdeep Singh Gill. Where is lowest unemployment rate recorded in January 2022? Telangana. Which player has won the first gold of 24th Winter Olympic 2022 recently? Therese Johaug. What name have scientists given to a mountain 3 times bigger than Himalayan mountain? Answer is super mountains. Recently, who has launched the nationwide operation Ahat to curb human trafficking? RPF. Who has topped the recently released India Press Freedom Report 2021? Jammu Kashmir. Who has become the second largest buyer of gold in 2021? RBI, Reserve Bank of India. Where has the world's largest igloo cafe opened recently? Jammu Kashmir. Who has started Jiva program to promote natural farming? NABARD. Who has recently chaired One Ocean Summit 2022 to preserve the ocean? France. Who has recently won the title of Mixed Doubles Championship Tennis Tournament Australian Open? Both Ivan Doding and Kristina Mladenovic. Who has written the book 10 Trillion Dream? Answer is Subhas Garg. Recently, who has launched a new app named Digital Parliament? Digital Parliament Lok Sabha Secretariat. Recently, Tata Sky has announced to change its name to what? Tata Play. Who has been appointed as Chief Economic Advisor by Government of India recently? Anant Nageswaram. Where has India's largest charging station opened recently? Gurugram. Recently, Dakshin Mabuang has become the first ODF plus village of which state? Answer is Mizoram. Recently, Ramgarh Wildlife Sanctuary has been notified as the fourth tiger reserve of which state? Answer is Rajasthan. रामगढ़ बिस्धारी है ये इसका पूरा नाम. Which medal has India won in hockey women Asia Cup recently? Bronze medal. Who has been chosen as guest nation in 12th Hyderabad Literature Festival recently? UK. Recently, which country Air Asia changed its name to capital A have done? Malaysia. Recently, which country has implemented online safety bill? Australia. Recently, which state's Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve has won TX2 award? Tamil Nadu. According to the recent report, who has become the world's most valuable brand? Apple. Recently, which state has got the first scientific bird atlas? Kerala. Recently, Russia, China, and which country have organized joint naval exercise Chiru? So it's Iran. Who has written the book A Little Boy of India recently? Ruskin Bond. Which country has recently handed over the all contracted 70,000 AK-203 rifles to India? Answer is Russia. Recently, who has been appointed as new Chief Economic Advisor of India? Answer is V. Anant Nageswaram. Which birth anniversary of great freedom fighter Lala Lajpat Rai has been celebrated recently on January 28, 2022? Answer is 157th. Recently, Charanjit Singh, the former Indian player related to which sport, has passed away at the age of 91. He was a player of hockey. Answer is A. Hockey. Recently, which Republic Day has been celebrated all over India on 26th January 2022? 73rd. Recently, mm, how many celebrities have been announced to give Padma Award 2022? सेलिब्रिटी की जगह पर्सनालिटी होना चाहिए. 723 का आंसर हो जाएगा बी. 128. ऑन विच डेट नेशनल टूरिज्म डे इज सेलिब्रेटेड एवरी ईयर इन इंडिया? 25th January. Recently, who has been appointed as new chairman and managing director of Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited? Answer is Pushp Kumar Joshi. Recently, the Andhra Pradesh government has approved the formation of 13 new districts. Now, the total number of districts in the state will increase to 726. Answer will be B. 726. What is the rank of India in recently released Corruption Perception Index for year 2022? Answer is C. 85th. Who has been selected as the best male cricketer in ICC Award 2021? 728 का आंसर will be C. Shaheen Afridi, Pakistan. Which team has recently won the title of National Women's Ice Hockey Championship 2022? Ladakh. Recently, how many children have received Prime Minister's National Children's Award for year 2022? 29. 29. Recently, who has won the women's singles title in Syed Modi International Tournament? PV Sindhu. Recently, the Indonesian government has announced to replace Jakarta and make the new capital of the country Nusantara. Recently, the former Indian player Subhash Bhaumik, related to which sport, has passed away at the age of 71? Football. Recently, which union territory of Jammu and Kashmir has become the first milk village? Jeri. In which city India's first para badminton academy has started recently? Lucknow. Recently, whose statue has been installed by central government by shifting Amar Jawan Jyoti from India Gate? Answer is Subhash Chandra Bose. The International Day of Education is celebrated every year on which date? 24th January. Recently, on the birth anniversary of which person on 23rd January, Prakram Divas has been celebrated all over India? Subhash Chandra Bose. Recently, who has become the new MD of National Highway and Infrastructure Development Corporation Limited? Answer is Chanchal Kumar. Recently, who has been elected as 17th chairman of cooperative organization? Dilip Sanghani. Dilip Sanghani. Recently, which three states celebrated their 50th Foundation Day on 21st January 2022? Manipur, Meghalaya and Tripura. Answer is Manipur, Meghalaya and Tripura. Recently, who has become the first male Indian cricketer to play in Australian Big Bash League? Unmukt Chand. Who has been recently appointed as the new Chief of Air India? New Chief of Air India, Bikram Devdutt. Recently, Indian female player Sania Mirza has announced her retirement from which sport? Tennis. Recently, who has become the first transgender doctor of Pakistan? Sara Gill. Recently, who has become the new Speaker of Parliament of European Union? Roberta Metsola. Recently, which male player has been chosen as FIFA Player of the Year? Robert Lewandowski. Which Raising Day of National Disaster Response Force is celebrated across India on 19th January 2022? 17th. Recently, who has become the first High Court of India to set up justice clock? Answer is Gujarat High Court. Recently, who has become the next Vice Army Chief of India? आंसर इज, खैर ये तो जरूरी नहीं है, मनोज पांडे तो अब चीफ ऑफ आर्मी चीफ बन चुके हैं, तो ये मत याद करो. रिसेंटली द ग्रेट कथक डांसर पंडित बिरजू महाराज हैज पास्ड अवे एट द एज ऑफ 83. हुज फुल नेम वाज, सो हुज फुल नेम वाज 751 का ए हो जाएगा ब्रिज मोहन नाथ मिश्रा. Recently, PM Modi has announced to celebrate which date every year as National Startup Day? 16th January. Recently, Australia has won the SS 2021-2022 cricket series. This series is played between which two countries? Australia and England. Recently, which badminton player has won the men's single title in India Open 2022? Lakshya Sen. Recently, which beauty has won the title of Miss World 2022? Harnaaz Sandhu. Recently, the former Prime Minister of which country, Toshiki Kaifu, has passed away at the age of 91? Japan. Who has recently become the new chairman of Apparel Export Promotion Council? Narendra Goenka. Which former West Indies cricketer has recently received Britain's knighthood honour? Clive Lloyd. On which date Indian Army Day is celebrated every year across the country? 15th January. Recently, who has become the new chairman of Indian Council of Historical Research? Professor Raghuvendra Tanwar. Recently, famous personality Kamal Khan has passed away at the age of 61. He was a journalist. Recently, the Andhra Pradesh government has increased the retirement age of the government employee from 60 years to how many years? 62 years. 2 साल के लिए बढ़ाया है. Recently, the famous writer of which language Chandrasekhar Patil has passed away at the age of 82? Answer is Kannada. Recently, who has been appointed as the new title sponsor of Indian Premier League, replacing Vivo? Tata. Recently, which country cricketer Chris Morris has retired from all form of game? South Africa. On which date of January every year National Youth Day is celebrated all over India? On 12th. Recently, who has been appointed as the Chief of Indian Research ISRO? ISRO के हैं S. Somnath. Recently, which initiative has been started by Western Railway for lost luggage of passengers? Mission Amanat. Recently, which male player has received the ICC Player of the Month award for December 2021? 769 का आंसर will be D. Ejaz Patel, New Zealand. Who has recently become the new chief economist of the International Monetary Fund? Pierre Olivier Gorinchas. Recently, which death anniversary of Lal Bahadur Shastri has been celebrated all over India on 11th January? 56th. Recently, what has been renamed as Kevadia Railway Station by Ministry of Railway? Ekta Nagar Railway Station. Recently, on which date has been announced by PM Modi to be celebrated every year across India as Veer Balak Divas? So it's A. 26th December. Who has recently become the new Director General of Police of Punjab? VK Bhavra. Recently, the UP government has renamed Manpuri Sainik School after whom? General Bipin Rawat. Who has received the Best State Category Award in the recently given National Water Awards for the year 2020? Answer is Uttar Pradesh. Answer is Uttar Pradesh. In which city India's first open rock museum has been recently opened? Hyderabad. Recently, who has become the 73rd chess grandmaster of India? Bharat Subramaniam. Recently, who has been appointed as new vice chairman of Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank AIIB, replacing Indian DJ Pandian? Answer is D. Urjit Patel. Who has got Best Actor award in recently given Golden Globe Award for year 2022? Answer is B. Andrew Garfield. Every year, World Hindi Day is celebrated on which day of month January? Answer is C. 10th. Recently, who has become the new MD and CEO of UCO Bank? Soma Shankar Prasad. Recently, who has become the first Indian origin woman to reach South Pole alone? Answer is Harpreet Chandi. Recently, who has become the first woman head of Oil and Natural Gas Corporation? Alka Mittal. Recently, who has become the new CEO of Vistara Airline? Binod Kannan. On which date of January every year World Braille Day is celebrated? 4th. Which birth anniversary of India's first female teacher, Savitribai Phule, has been celebrated recently on 3rd January 2022? Answer is 191. Which cricket team has recently won the title of Under 19 Asia Cup 2021? Answer is India. Who has recently become the 24th Director General of Indian Coast Guard? V.S. Pathania. V.S. Pathania. Which of the following has become the India's first paperless court recently? Kerala High Court. Recently, which state has become the first LPG free and smoke free state of India? Himachal Pradesh. Recently, who has received the Sahitya Academy Award for the year 2021 for the English news language? Namita Gokhale. Recently, who has received the Sahitya Academy Award for the year 2021 for Hindi language? Daya Prakash Sinha. Recently, which country has started the world first dual mode vehicle service? Japan. Recently, which country player Mohammad Hafiz has retired from international cricket? Pakistan. Recently, who has been appointed as new chairman and CEO of Railway Board? VK Tripathi. Recently, which country's player Ross Taylor has announced his retirement from international cricket? New Zealand. Recently, Durga Shankar Misra has become the new chief secretary of which state? Uttar Pradesh. Recently, who has become the new MD and CEO of Punjab National Bank? Atul Goyal. Recently, who has been selected as Person of the Year 2021 by PETA India? Alia Bhatt. Who has recently won the Global Environment and Climate Action Citizen Award 2021? Viral Desai. Who has recently written a new book titled The Modi Gambit Decoding Modi 2.0? Answer is Santanu Gupta. Answer is Sanju Verma, sorry. Recently, which state officer Violet Barua has become the first woman Inspector General of Police? Assam. Which state has topped the recently released Good Governance Index for year 2021? Gujarat. Recently, which country's former cricketer Ray Illingworth has passed away at the age of 99. England. Which state has got the top position in the recently released Niti Aayog Health Index for the year 2021? C. Kerala. Recently, which country has made it mandatory for foreigners to get approval from Ministry of Defence for marrying local people? Sri Lanka. Recently, who has become the Deputy National Security Advisor in the National Security Council Secretariat? Vikram Misri. Recently, who was chosen as PETA India 2021 Person of the Year? Alia Bhatt. Who has topped the recently released Niti Aayog fourth the Healthiest State Progressive India report? Answer is Kerala. Who has written the book Kashmir, The Quest for Peace in the Troubled Land recently? निर्मल चंद्र बिज. सो इस वीडियो में दोस्तों इतना ही. 811 हमने MCQ ख़त्म किया. स्पीडी का बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है ये, आप इसको एक बार और देखना ज़रूर, चाहे स्पीड बढ़ा के देख लो. मिलेंगे अगले वीडियो में, इसके वन लाइनर को लेके आऊँगा. तब तक के लिए नमस्कार, बाय बाय.